On September 7 and 8, Astana hosted the 11th KAZENERGY Eurasian Forum at the Palace of Peace and Reconciliation. This key energy event of the Expo Business Program was organized by KAZENERGY Association with the support of the government of Kazakhstan. The forum was held under the theme Securing the Future of Energy, which was the central topic of the discussion. The modern world needs a common vision of what the energy of the future should be and how countries in current conditions can ensure energy security in light of the goals of sustainable development. It was one of the reasons why the capital of Kazakhstan gathered experts from 58 countries, including heads of governments and sectoral ministries, leaders of international organizations and largest energy transnational corporations, representatives of leading local and foreign media. Addressing the audience of the forum, Prime Minister of Kazakhstan, Bakitjan Sagintayev, noted the special importance of the forum's theme. Indeed, a unique process of transition to a new model of the global energy market is starting before our eyes. We support the idea of the importance of ensuring sustainable energy development through establishing the balance between economic development and the preservation of the planet's ecosystem. The Prime Minister expressed readiness of the government of Kazakhstan for an effective cooperation in the field of sustainable energy and also called the forum delegates to a constructive dialogue and a joint search for solutions to energy challenges. In turn, Minister of Energy of Kazakhstan, Kanat Bozumbayev, said, an important event for the energy community continues the discussion of the topics announced within the International Specialized Exhibition Expo Future Energy and the Ministerial Conference on Meeting the Challenge of Sustainable Energy. This event allows to recommend Kazakhstan as one of the leaders in the global dialogue about the future energy. The ultimate goal is to identify concrete steps towards the goal of sustainable development. The declaration adopted during the ministerial meeting in June, as well as the resolution that will work on at this forum, will be reflected in the manifest of the values and principles of Expo. This manifest is intended to become a guide for the energy in the world, Bozumbayev said. According to the minister, the energy sector is currently at a new stage of development, which is characterized by geopolitical changes. These are the development of new technologies in energy saving, extraction and processing of energy resources, and redistribution of export destinations. Alternative energy sources together constitute about 18% of the primary energy consumption, among which the largest share goes to the atom. A relatively modest share today is still in the energy of the sun and wind. Most of the primary energy in the near future will still remain behind traditional fossil fuels. Minister for Housing, Energy and Environment of Finland, Kimmo Tiilikainen, and Minister of Energy of Georgia, Ilya Elashvili, voiced their visions of energy prospects. These countries pay great attention to the development of green technologies and alternative energy sources.
All countries must now engage in even closer cooperation in implementing the Paris Agreement and making sure the Paris rulebook will be finalized in time. The EU aims to strengthen its role in climate policy. The European Union continues to lead by example and is putting our 2030 climate legislation in place. The European Union can't lead alone. The major economies are crucial partners, and we must reach out to all regions and groups. This means intense climate diplomacy in Eurasia, Asia, Europe, and all around the world.
In today's unpredictable world, energy issues play a crucial part, particularly when security structure of the world is extremely fragile. Energy security issues are vital for ensuring bright future and sustainable development. Proceeding from recent development involves oil fossil fuel follow-up processes. All our activities and efforts should be forwarded towards energy efficiency with a gradually switching to the use of renewable energy sources.
Along with official side events, the forum program included presentations and press conferences where participants discussed various aspects of the energy prospects.
В Казахстане ископаемое топливо является основным источником энергии.
In Kazakhstan, fossil fuels are the main source of energy. Over the years, our country remains a reliable participant in the system of ensuring the energy security. We have always been responsible for our obligations in the matter of ensuring the supply of energy resources, attracting foreign investments, and protecting the environment. In this sense, Kazakhstan is a trusted partner and an example of stable political and economic development in the region.
In the last half-century, the global population has more than doubled. Life expectancy has been rising from 50 to 70. GDP is more than 30 times what it used to be. And extreme poverty has been halved. It's an extraordinary transition. And it's one in which energy has been vital, more than trebling in some consumptions since the 60s. And this trend will continue. Over the next quarter of a century, we are going to see a world that will double again in size. Billions of people will move out of poverty as standards of living rise, resulting in another 2 billion energy consumers. We will need all energy sources in order to satisfy this rising demand and continue to support economic development while mitigating the impact of climate change.
According to the president of the World Petroleum Council, Kazakhstan uses energy rationally. Humanity has to comply with the Paris Agreement in order to build reliable bridges to the future. As stated by Tor Fjairan, the World Petroleum Council plans to put forward a joint initiative to increase access to energy where it is in the greatest demand. Meanwhile, INA's executive vice president for Central Asian region, Luca Vignati, and managing director at North Caspian Operating Company, NV Bruno Jardin, spoke at the session on sustainable development of major oil and gas projects. Luca Vignati noted the paramount need for the development of local content in the countries that export hydrocarbons.
First of all, is people, training people, selecting the good people, fostering the cross-posting of the people with our own international oil company, and also pushing a lot on the nationalization. It's not a secret that both Karachaganak and Kashagan, they are showing fantastic numbers in terms of percentage, with the many positions also to the very high level.
We are working toward achieving cost savings that will make the joint development of these fields economically viable. And the development of other fields is still in the assessment phase. Now let's talk about environmental and safety aspect of the North Caspian project. First, health, safety of our workforce. This has been and remains today our first priority. From the personal worker safety, our performance stands among the best in the industry worldwide. At the same time, we have maintained a strong focus on process safety.
2017 is an anniversary year for many enterprises of Kazakhstan's oil and gas sector. 2 decades ago, the country began cooperation with world leaders of this sector. One of them is the largest Chinese oil and gas company, CNPC, that became a reliable investor and energy partner for Kazakhstan. CNPC has advanced technologies in the field of gas production and exploration. We found deposits in the Caspian region that are worth billions of dollars. We managed to increase the oil reserve by tens of millions of tons. The Kazakh-Chinese oil pipeline has already been built. Chairman of the board of the national company KAZENERGY Gas, Sawat Minbayev, emphasized the importance of CNPC in the oil and gas sector. Now CNPC is negotiating the extension of contracts in Kazakhstan, and I really hope for a long-term, successful, mutually beneficial cooperation with them. Cooperation between Kazakhstan and China in the oil and gas sector includes not only cooperation with CNPC, but CNPC was the pioneer, the largest in terms of cooperation. After CNPC came Sinopec, Citi, and now many other Chinese private companies. The forum participants listened to the speech of the United Arab Emirates Minister of Energy, Suhail Mohammed Faraj Al-Mazrouei, with particular interest. The representative of the oil state expressed strong confidence that humanity will find a balance between traditional and alternative sources of energy.
We are living at a very interesting time. where all forms of energy are competing to achieve a balance. And that balance has to be, as explained by His Excellency, had to be greener. And it had to be more efficient. And at the same time, it has to be more affordable than what we have seen in the past.
One of the key events of the forum was the presentation of the National Energy Report 2017 prepared by the KAZENERGY Association jointly with the IHS Markit. The report was composed considering the new realities, goals and tasks identified by the government of Kazakhstan and intended to provide a comprehensive picture of the current situation and prospects for the development of basic sectors of the economy of Kazakhstan, which together make up the fuel and energy complex.
First, to introduce the 2017 Kazakhstan National Energy Report that was prepared by IHS Markit, and talk about the three major sections within this report that I think will be of interest to you this morning. The investment climate in Kazakhstan, the global oil price cycle, and how Kazakhstan's plans fit into the Paris Agreement.
In addition, the presentation of the book Oil and Gas of the Independent Kazakhstan, dedicated to the history of the formation and development of the oil and gas sector in 25 years of country's sovereignty, was held during the forum. The idea of the book belongs to the chairman of KAZENERGY Association, Timur Kulibayev. A team of oil and gas sector professionals headed by the hero of labor of Kazakhstan, Uzakbay Karabalin, worked jointly on this publication. Significant events, interviews of prominent experts, those who stood at the roots of the industry, unique photographs and illustrations were reflected on the pages of the book.
Мы создали совершенно новую отрасль, способствующую индустриальному росту.
We have created a whole new industry, increased human resources capacity, launched and currently operating the unique projects of Tengiz, Karachaganak, Kashagan, CPC, Kazakhstan-China oil and gas pipelines, and others. At the present time, we are developing the petrochemical industry. A large geological exploration of the Caspian Depression within the unique Eurasia project is ahead. And there are all the facts that we have been developing from year to year. They are all presented in this book and backed up by the memories and interviews of our colleagues oilmen who made all these by themselves. A resolution was adopted as a result of the forum. It determines the goals and objectives of the country's energy sector. The forum participants recognize the important role of the fossil fuel in a stable and long-term energy supply, agreed to responsibly develop the major oil and gas projects Tengiz, Karachaganak, and Kashagan, considering their capital intensity, technological features, and low energy prices, to continue modernization and optimization of the existing pipeline system to ensure reliable oil and gas supplies to the consumers. In addition, the resolution says that it is necessary to cooperate in the field of exploration to ensure a stable resource base for the oil and gas industry, and to accelerate technological modernization in these sectors, taking into account the introduction of clean technologies, which purpose is to minimize the environmental impact, to ensure resource saving and energy efficiency. The dialogue organized during the last 3 months in Astana within the framework of Expo 2017, Ministerial Conference on Sustainable Development, and the 11th KAZENERGY Eurasian Forum has become a real contribution to strengthening energy security in the region.